So I'm going through the comments and I see a comment, and I'm sure it's from a PlayStation fanboy that's judging, my level of PC gamerhood or whatever the heck it is. They said, I knew you were a fake PC gamer when you claim 60 FPS is enough. Boy, I tell you what, I've claimed that 30 FPS is enough. So you miss me with that nonsense. If that's what you're trying to go for, then I guess good luck to you. The problem that we have here is, you see, for a lot of people, they haven't necessarily engaged in like FPS gaming or high FPS gaming, high refresh rate gaming to the extent of most PC gamers, right? And I can almost tell you this person plays on console. I don't know if they play on PC, but for them to say this is kind of weird. Now, I'll have discussions and conversations with folk that play on PC, and some of them will tell me, yeah, if I'm not playing at, 120 FPS or more, I'm not happy. I'm happy at 60 FPS, and I'll play a game at 30 FPS if that's all I can get from the game. There's nothing stopping me from playing the game at 30 FPS. Do you know why I say that? Majority of the games that I enjoyed were locked to 30 FPS. As much as I enjoy gaming on PC, when I had the PlayStation 4 going into the PS5 with that release cadence of Spider-Man 2018, God of War 2018, Ghost of Tsushima, and then Uncharted 4 years prior, those are four of the greatest games that I've ever played. And I played every single one of those games at 30 FPS, and I enjoyed my experience. In fact, I haven't even played the 2018 Spider-Man, the remastered version. I don't remember if I've even beaten it. I remember beating Miles Morales on the PS5, when it was 60 FPS. But the only game in that category of games that I've mentioned to you that I've beaten at 60 FPS was God of War 2018. Even when the PS5 came out and Ghost of Tsushima got the 60 FPS upgrade, I still haven't gone back to play it. Those games were special to me at 30 FPS. So why would I ever come out here and try to act if it's not more than 60 FPS, blah, 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 blah. Let me go ahead and just be honest with you, okay? I don't want to call anybody any names, but this comment has got to be the most asinine thing that I've ever seen. Why are y'all so obsessed with FPS, especially those of you that are playing on the PlayStation console, when you have to basically take the cookie cutter, FPS lock that is given to you by the developers? Those of us that game on PC, we have the option to go crazy. I still own an RTX 4090. If I wanted to go nuts, I could go get myself one of the X3Ds and start to punch FPS all over the place. But honestly, that's not necessarily something that is really that much appealing to me. In fact, let me go ahead and even wreck this stupid notion, because again, this can be really weird at the end of the day. I do some weird stuff on my computing devices. It's a strange phenomenon, and some of you have seen it, and you've said to me, you got to be crazy, and I'm like, yes, because you got to understand, I gamed on PC when we still had that tube-ish level of monitor, right? Some people are like, you get no. When the TV, I said the TV, the monitor was a tube, and the TV was a tube. Yeah, all of the above. I was gaming then. Right now, here on this PC that I'm actually, making this video with, right? Let me go ahead and pull my task manager down here so that you can see it for yourself. This PC that I'm actually gaming on, right? If I go ahead and open up my, my setup, my CPU is a 5950X. My GPU is a RTX 4090, right? I'm sure my monitors are 1080p monitors. You know why? Because I don't care. I really don't care. I go to my display settings. I'm going to my advanced display settings, and I can show you. Okay? Here we go. Display resolution 1080p. That's the max it can go to. If I go to advanced, it's 1080p, and I'm using a 250 hertz 1080p monitor. I couldn't be bothered about somebody else's desire to play at some stupid FPS and, resolution or whatever. That's your business. You bought it to do that for you. So why should I be bothered? I enjoy the games the way I want to enjoy the games. If I want to play at 2K, I can go, get my 2K monitor. If I want to play at 4K, I can get my 4K monitor, and I can rock on there. But again, that is not the main purpose or goal of gaming. The purpose and the goal of gaming is that you play and enjoy the game. The rest of it is just icing on top of the cake. What's the point in having 4K and 2K and 120 FPS when you don't enjoy the game? I mean, as somebody who can play at 4K, at 2K, at high FPS, I can tell you that if you don't enjoy the game, the experience is absolutely going to suck. So all this talk about fake PC gamer and whatever is just the means of you to distract from the subject that I was discussing about the rumored PlayStation handheld. Oh, you thought I was going to forget. You're just trying to deflect that Xbox has run ahead of PlayStation in the handheld market, and you're bummed out. Get yourself an Xbox or an Xbox proxy, enjoy gaming, and stop this nonsense pedantic crap. God forbid that PlayStation would have been the platform where they had all the benefits of PC, because I swear we would all feel like we were pretty much held in Egypt by some pharaoh if you gave PlayStation players even an inch of the things that PC gamers have. They are so elitist in their thinking. It's so weird. Just one small thing that they get and nobody else can hear anything anymore, to the point where some of them were even deluded enough drinking their own Kool-Aid and almost coming to point out that, oh yeah, the PS5 Pro is actually, can perform close to a 4090. And then some of them try to make it sound like it can perform close to a 4070. And many of them don't even know how computers work. In fact, in the last few weeks and the last few months, we've been looking at how many of them have been responding to questions about simple computer components and their functionality, and they are failing. They're like walking away with negative F grades on almost every single topic. It's shameful. It's shameful how these people have had a voice, because now you can take up a keyboard and a mic and somehow you can be talking on things that you have no idea about, with not even an ounce of humility to even give room for the possibility that you might be wrong. Is just so earth-shaking and disappointing to me. I can't even understand. You know what I mean? So what is going on here? What is at the crux of the matter? Like, what is this whole thing about? This thing is about where we've pretty much come down to the nitty-gritty, and we've realized that gamers who were talking about all of this stuff with performance this last generation were just, for the most part, taken by the winds of marketing. Xbox and PlayStation both came out telling you that they could give you the world. Xbox, on the box of the Xbox console, they wrote 4K 120 FPS. In fact, the PS5 old box, I still kept that old box. I threw in my box from my Xbox recently, but the box from my PS5 still says 8K because I have the old school PS5, the one that came out, right? And they said, oh, it can support up to 8K media. Yet the freaking thing is just not it. Like, you know what I mean? Like a cheapo laptop would be running some games and you'll be going like, why have they not even unlocked these games on there? Because again, developers got to spoon feed you on the console. And so talking about whether or not someone's a, PC gamer or console gamer because of their FPS, it's kind of like the most silly thing ever. I was playing at 60 FPS in 2016, right after I moved away from, building more of my library on console, but I still played games at 30 FPS. It was weird. I remember, just picking up games and just playing them. And the FPS, I was like, yeah, it's 30 FPS, but what do you want me to do? It's available on this platform. I'm going to play the game because I want to play the game. You know what I mean? Like, I had a 1080 Ti and I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima at 30 FPS. I wasn't worried because I'd always played games that I liked, that I enjoyed. I think PlayStation fans, you guys have lost the joy of gaming. You really have. And you're about to make everybody else lose it. And so we have to literally block people. I have to block people like you. At first I was thinking, maybe it's not a common and warranty, but honestly, it may not warranty, but if I block you, which I just have, if you heard the click, I've blocked this user. Maybe you need to go back to enjoying video games. Perhaps you can create a different account and comment again, but anything as brain dead as this comes out of your fingertips, I will block the account because I want you to actually go back and enjoy your gaming. Leave all this nonsense, console warring nonsense a lot. You bring it to the PC player's doorstep, it's the end of you. Go ask Nib and Wooly Gamer and D-Batch. All of them they're going through the crucible right now. They're going to learn, though. They'll come out having learned something, but man, it's going to take a huge chunk of their credibility because it's all in the public display. I'm seeing it with the Turk, and I'm seeing it in people reading the conversations and realizing, my goodness, these folk, are a little bit off their game in terms of trying to position themselves as knowing things that they know nothing about or not much about. And it's kind of weird. I'm not even here claiming to know a lot. I'm just basically saying, like, everybody's got to, call it what it is. And whenever you find out that you've basically, met your limits, you need to basically be humble enough to say, you know what? I don't know what's going on here. Can somebody, hook me up? But this pride and, hubris of the PlayStation fanboy is one that's actually, quite fascinating to observe. Thanks for watching the video, folks. I appreciate your time and audience. It was a silly comment, but again, like I usually say, you got to farm these guys for content, man. That's one way to basically ensure that, they don't come out here and spew nonsense for free. So talk to me in the comment section, and hopefully we'll talk pretty soon in another one. Peace out.